Hello guys, and welcome back to War in the Pacific with our Allied playthrough. In the last episode, it wasn't nearly as exciting as the other ones beginning this, with Pearl Harbor. The infamous Kido Butai is still chugging along to the west, little bit by little bit, still pretty damn close to Hawaii if you actually look at the map. It's raiding everything it goes past as it goes past. It just had a raid onto Johnston Island last turn. It raided a Hawaiian island, Lihu, while moving away from Pearl Harbor. It didn't really do any damage. It's not really doing damage anywhere it goes, because there's nothing to strike at these places, so it's mostly just wasting sorties, wasting ammo, maybe dealing with some ops losses. I know we have a bunch of convoys and stuff underway already, right here, all over the place. I don't know, but it looks like I'm not already sending a convoy to Johnston Island. I should, but I might have been waiting on that. No, never mind, I found it. It's just taking a very special route to get there out of fear of the Kido Butai. So be it. Maybe I should have just held it off a little bit longer. But yeah, so during that last turn, you can see we're up to 134 political points. I spent some in New Zealand, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's take a look at ships sunk. We only know of one ship, or we predict of one ship being sank, having been sunk last turn. Oh my god, it's so hard for me to read these dates. These are like British date, where it's like, I don't know, it's just weird for me. Anyway, the last turn was the 10th. The Tiyoko Maru, a cargo ship belonging to the Japanese Navy, worth 10 victory points. Now, I cheered a lot when we got a torpedo into this thing last turn, because I remember I've seen so many of our torpedoes fly and so little actually hit their targets that it was so nice to see something actually get hit. And now supposedly we sank this thing, which hopefully we did. This is one that actually has a little bit of troop capacity as well as some cargo, so it may have been involved in one of the invasions, more than likely. I mean, that's where my subs were going around, and that's where we're sinking things. Only one ship on our side lost so far the entire war. A little teeny tiny light cargo ship worth 1 victory point sank by a 250 kg bomb. Apparently everything that is doing well for us are actually Mark 14 torpedoes, which is kind of funny. It still has the Hiryu on here, but we know for a fact, well, more than likely for a fact, that the Hiryu is still in the Kido Butai. I mean, I can't see everything in here. I can just see the classes, and even that's wrong half the time. Last turn, it was telling me there were tankers in here. The amount of CVLs has increased drastically. The amount of other things in here has changed a crazy amount. It's wrong. It's wrong. I'd be surprised if it sinks, even on a long charge back to Japan. I'd be surprised. Now, I'm not quite sure what to think about these aircraft results we're looking at here. Apparently, and I find this really hard to believe, 7 zeros were lost on the ground yesterday, and 2 to ops losses. So 2 to ops losses would be nice, and that'd be great and all, but what is this 7 zeros lost on the ground? We didn't see anything like that when we did our turn. We saw nothing indicating that any zeros at all were lost. I did undertake a couple of bombing raids, some B-17s out of the Philippines, attacking an enemy light carrier. Even if it did destroy any planes on the deck, that wouldn't be considered a ground loss, and as far as I'm aware, not a single bomb hit its target. Now, we did have some Chinese bombers bombing some locations like Nanchang or just other locations, and they had fighter support. Barely any of our planes made it through, and I saw no reports of any hits. So I don't know if this is true, or if this is just a hell of a lot of fog of war with some douche nozzle, SIGINT motherfucker just writing down reports. I don't know where this came from, but I don't believe that 7 zeros died on the ground last turn. Supposedly, but I just don't believe it. Would be nice, of course, but I just don't believe it. And I'm not keeping up, oh man, with the amount of air points that each side has lost at this point to know if that's exactly true or not. As for ground units destroyed, still none. We had some land battles over in China, So let's focus on China for a little bit. I've been talking about the place that we bombed. I think we bombed Nanchang and this unit and maybe the units at Hong Kong. We also had a battle at Hong Kong, as this nice little graphic demonstrates. We actually did surprisingly well. We lost barely any troops at all compared to what they lost. However, they have about 10 times the amount of troops we have, and they're bringing even more, which will probably solidify that as 10 times. So if we're losing even, 1 unit to every 10 units they lose, we're not going to hold this out very long. Hong Kong is going to fall. I'm saying it every turn. There's no way we're going to defy history, because I can't even get troops in there to reinforce, even if I wanted to. The Japanese start out with a Hong Kong invasion inevitably planned and about to happen from the very get-go. Hong Kong will fall. We will lose 640 victory points, and Japan will gain 160. It's sad, but it's true. I am trying to, keep building up the forts for what it's worth, and there's really no progress happening. We have more than enough supplies here, so I'm going to try, I guess. Who knows, maybe the AI is stupid and it'll just give up. I doubt it, but we got to do what we can, right? Otherwise, in China, some stuff's happening. We did take Yichang. I don't remember seeing a battle pop up for Yichang during the last replay, which is weird, but I don't remember seeing it. There was no one here regardless, but maybe that's why nothing popped up. I know when they invade locations of ours that have no defenses, we do see a battle for it. I don't recall seeing a battle for Yichang. That being said, we now own Yichang. No other units have gotten here. They're just coming out of the mountains. They've taken a while. So I'm going to leave these troops here for a bit. As a reminder, I'm going to take the entire 26th Group Army. I'm going to send it down to Hankow eventually to try to perform a siege, really. And the 20th Group Army, which is around here, will be heading to Wuchang. Two similarly sized forces of about 6 corps, maybe about 1,000. This one's more than 1,000. The 20th group may be about 1,000 AV each, and hopefully one of them's weak enough to take. Maybe we'll see no success at all. Maybe we can combine our forces for one of them. I don't know, but that would be nice. I'm going to leave this 33rd Group Army and its respective corps here to protect Yichang in the meantime. We do have a unit in Xinyang, and he got there ahead of everyone else because my coordination wasn't perfect, because microing everything in this game is a bitch. I should have turned some automation on, like submarines, but I feel like that's not exactly in the spirit of this game to turn on automation, so I'm doing everything manually. And since I'm doing everything manually, sometimes, especially with variations in how fast units move every turn, some mistakes can happen, like a corps getting to a location before the rest of its reinforcements. The enemies marched out of their fortifications and attacked us. It really wasn't the best, and it really wasn't like a march. It was more like a bombardment. It hurt us, 135 casualties, which isn't, I guess, a whole lot. How many are in here? Well, actually, yeah, I guess that is a whole lot. 135 out of all of this. I don't remember how many of them were combatant or not, but we don't want to see this unit fall apart. That being said, we do have more units on the way for sure. Another Chinese corps coming in hot from the west, but it's only marched 6 miles. I'm going to assume, yeah, these are miles. And we have another Chinese corps coming from the east, as well as the army, which I put into combat mode so that it doesn't get too far ahead too quickly. We also have the 21st Group Army, and both of its corps headed up there as well, but they're moving through bad terrain or whatever, so they're not even quite halfway there. There does seem to be 2 Japanese units moving along this railroad, some going down to Hankow, probably one unit going up to Xinyang. Unfortunate, but we also have the 2nd Group Army, which is unifying up here, and then it will get moving down to Xinyang as well, so I guess we're going to come in waves here, but as you see, I hope to get an offensive going on Wuchang, Hankow, and Xinyang. Xinyang will hopefully fall before the Hankow and Wuchang attacks even begin. I feel like the Hankow one is more likely to start first because the 20th Group Army still has a little bit before it actually gets unified, and I want to wait for it to get unified before I start actually making any pushes. Otherwise, we're just regrouping all around these other locations. What are you with? The 23rd Army? And that's here. No, where are you going? You're with the 23rd Group Army. Okay, so you're here. Yeah, so this unit is trying to get here. This unit is trying to get here. And when they're together, we can look at maybe attacking Nanchang as well. So along this stretch, the only thing that I don't plan to attack or I'm not attacking is Kiu Kiang. It's not a seemingly very valuable base, but we don't really have any of the troops at the moment free to attack it. I could maybe free up some troops out of Changsha once they actually get unified. Maybe take one of these groups, 27th Group Army maybe. Maybe the 29th. I know some troops are still incoming and they're probably part of the 27th. Yes, 27th. This is part of the 30th. So I believe he's actually headed down here. Yeah, okay, so we have even more troops headed down there. The 27th Group Army seems pretty tiny. Yeah, that's because it is. Where is this? Okay, there's another one. So, you know, maybe we get the 27th Group Army headed east. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to wait till they unify before I start thinking about anything quite like that. Over here, our 8th? Yes, our 8th Group Army has unified. I have him moving up to meet with the 7th Group Army. They're going to meet up while... I don't know if the 6th is still waiting for anyone, but they're just going to hold their defensive position on the other side of this river in rough terrain. Once these units are all met up at their respective locations, I'm probably going to move them all right here to this little crossroads, and then I'm going to move all 3 armies to attack Taiyuan and stay on the offensive. I don't want to, you know, fuck around here. We do have some enemy units over here that arrived last turn. They did attack our 11th Chinese Corps here, which has about 116 AV currently. It was heading west with the goal of attacking Pao Tao. The current unit in Pao Tao is trying to run away. We do have 1 corps here and only 1 corps. What kind of terrain is this? Mountain. So I don't really want to attack if I don't have to. So we're going to just stay in defensive right now. The 17th Group Army is moving down as well. It'll be their next turn, even if I put it into combat, I believe, in order to meet up with the 81st Chinese Corps. This 11th is the only other part of its army. So hopefully it ends up okay. I'm really just thinking we may wait until this unit evacuates out of Pao Tao, and then we'll take Pao Tao. I don't know what's going to happen to this unit. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I don't know what to do about him. Also, I am moving this cavalry corps up to Ankang, even though I was moving it all over the place trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm moving this Chinese corps in its place. I'm going to get the engineer unit back here in Chengtu over here, and I'm going to build this base up into a flag base from a dot base because it has such great capability for airfield capacity and fortifications. I want to use it as a forward air base after Chongqing because it's only 6 hexes away from Xinyang, 6 from Hankow, 6 from Wuchang. It's a lot better in range without risking a whole lot. I mean, Yichang would be even better, but we just got Yichang. I don't want to build up Yichang unless these places over here are actually secure. I'm not going to bring a engineer group from the Central Reserve all the way out here for those purposes. So the 3rd Chinese base force is going to slowly move its way over here. We're setting this to expand, by the way, but once the cavalry gets out of here, it's up to the Chinese Corps, which has some engineers, or the engineer base force to get over here to actually properly build this up. Now, if I'm getting the engineer base force over here, I don't need any infantry over there, but I'm going to send any just as an extra guard. And this is another 185 AV. Man, the Chinese AV is really, like, inflated. Just to defend it, you know, forward air base would be pretty useful over here, especially since we have so many planes over here. I moved all the bombers that were in Chengtu down to Chongqing. Flying Tigers are still out here. I'm just letting them sit around, really. They're not really capable of doing anything or going anywhere. The enemy air can't really reach Chongqing if they wanted to, at least not that I know of. 14 hexes. There's probably some bombers of theirs. Yeah, that could get here on extended range if they really wanted to. But I don't see why they'd do that. They are bombarding some places on the front lines. But I can't do much about that unless I, you know, say evacuate the bombers from Guilin, get the Flying Tigers in there. which I might do. Okay, I've decided to do actually just that. I've already gotten some of these bombers headed back to Chongqing from Changsha. So let's transfer more of them back, completely clear it out. There is still this one bomber damaged here. I could just, oh no, I can't. It's going to be destroyed, so I'll just let it repair. Let's take one of the flying tiger groups here, the smaller one currently, and get it moving to Changsha. Here we go. And one of them got damaged on the way. It's okay. Let's get this on escort. Let's get it up to 50% cap, down to normal range, because they have been doing a lot of bombarding and I want to give them some kind of a fight, you know? And as for this one, let's get this down to Guilin. Now, a lot more of these are kind of injured, but let's get you to Chongqing. Just get all the bombers out. I mean, the bombers have longer range anyway. Maybe, you know, building up some of these other locations would free up some amount of, I don't know, locations for me to place bombers and stage raids. I know this base here would be great for staging bombing raids because it's just behind the front where I could put fighters. I know I have some more fighters in Xi'an running escorts, some I-15s, some shitty Chinese planes that are all partial capacity because China's not even making any. I'm mainly just flying these as practice, but making it real escort just in case. We have something similar going on in Yunnan, but with only a single force here. So let's get the other flying tiger group and send it to Guilin. Guilin, I think, is getting bombed regularly. Let's get, oh, 2 damaged, really? Don't you love that? Let's get you to 50% cap. Oh, I don't think I've been setting this right. Alright, so range 5. Yeah, 20k height. 50% cap. And I gotta make sure I set the height correctly over here. I did not. See, it's so easy to just forget little things like that. But with 5 range, you know, they can't quite cover each other, but they can cover their respective zones. And hopefully we could start giving the incoming Japanese, persistent Japanese, bomber raids a bit of a fight. And hopefully a bit of a bite. I was expanding the airfields in these locations because of the presence of the bombers here. Not really a point if I have fighters out here, but what are you going to do? Let's transfer you to Chongqing. Yes, Chongqing. Let's transfer... God damn, so many are just being left behind because they're damaged. Chongqing. Alright, and now the rest here are just all not ready because they're damaged. I could disband this one. It looks like if I disband this one, it'll just go to the pool. Doesn't say anything. Okay, it's not going to the pool, it's just transferring in here. Alright, yeah, none of these are going to go to the pool if I disband them, so I have to let them kind of heal up. Aviation support is almost stretched here, so I'm going to definitely get the rest of these bombers out of there. I know due to disorganization, these units don't have the max amount of aviation support that they could have, but I know they'll get it eventually. Same thing over in Changsha. Can have a maximum of 30, but a lot of them are a little bit disorganized. When that fixes up, the flying tigers by themselves should be able to operate out of here indefinitely. As for the other flying tiger force in Burma, I've decided to fly cap from its current location over Rangoon, though, 4 hexes away. I'd love to send it to Rangoon, but we really don't have enough aviation support there. We have just enough for what's there. Now, we have other things like engineers headed there. I'm also sending the 106 RAF base force down there as well. Once we get enough aviation support in there, I may send it down there. This AVG ground echelon China task force, air force or whatever, it's gonna just maintain the flying tigers while they're here. After that, I'm not sure what to do with it. I may send it to Rangoon. It's in a bit of a weird place because it has to withdraw in 141 days, which is like, oh man, it has to withdraw, you know, kind of soon. But not exactly, because that's like 141 episodes from now. So we could definitely get some use out of it. What kind of use? I don't know. You need to have your, here we go, your plan, your future objective set for Rangoon so I can keep track of you. Otherwise, Burma, I'm just moving troops to Rangoon. I'm flying cap now over Rangoon with the Buffaloes because they bombarded Rangoon, and I'm not going to lie, they did some damage. Not a whole lot of damage, but damage I would have preferred to avoid. And I was not flying escort there because until this turn, we did not actually have sufficient aviation support, and I just didn't want to have any unnecessary losses or anything like that. Now I can afford to just keep Cap eternally up there, so long as fatigue doesn't end up being a problem. Speaking of unnecessary losses and everything I just said, I noticed we have some pretty high fatigue units up here. Some Dutch units that are just in units too small to really have a versatile amount of planes and pilots. So maybe we should change this up a little bit somehow. Maybe I'll lower the search patterns on these two down to more like 30% because they don't seem to be keeping up very well. This unit literally only has one plane in it and one pilot. I'm just gonna, I don't know, man. I'll just stand them down for now. I guess there's no point. There's literally no one else. And the max that can even be here is 2. B-17D Fortresses that went on that last raid that I already stood down. Yeah, the big fatigue problems we're having are entirely with Dutch search, like float patrol groups, because they only come in squads of 3. And because they're only in groups of 3, that means typically, you know, if one's on maintenance, then 1 out of 2 is always going, or I guess it might round up to 2 when there's 3 of them. So I'm just going to get it down. Let me follow this line here. Oh, what have I done? No, stop it. Stop it. Stop. Okay. Get it down to 30 for each of them to try to make them a little less fatigue. Help them out here. And that's 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. And then it goes down here. At Sower Baja, we have some ASW group. Another 3-man. God damn it. 3-man Dutch patrols. I hate the Dutch air groups. I've been dealing with this the whole time. 3 units this. They have a fighter group that has a max of 3 units. And it's not even a detachment. And a detachment is like a fragment of a group. But these aren't even fragments. And they're limited to 3. You know, and I think I see him. No, maybe not. No, okay, this might be him. No, that's someone else. Okay, well. What about this one? Is this another 3? It is. You bitches. Let's just get them all down to 30. Again, I usually don't do this kind of stuff while I'm recording. I usually just recap. But, you know, the thing about this game is you always find something else worth doing. Let me tell you. Why are these Hawks so fatigued? Why do you have so many reserves, but you don't actually need any reserves? What is your dysfunction? Why are you like this? Is your pilots fatigued? Kind of, yeah. Are your planes fatigued? Not at all. So it's all just your pilots being a bunch of shitheads. Well, I've dealt with a lot of that fatigue. I've dealt with all the highest ones. I'll deal with them if they become more of a problem, but I don't think they will. I think I might have just added things into the force, so it's recovering. We have some APs about to hit Colombo this upcoming turn. They're actually set to go to Rangoon, but I'm sending them here so that they can meet up and get an escort. I'll probably send some Corvettes with them to escort them to Rangoon, but I'm going to do that next turn. Otherwise, I think I'm sending another tanker off here, over to Abadan to pick up some fuel, which is going to be pumped into Karachi. So, you know, we can literally fuel the Indian economy and get it pumping out supply. Our first supply force leaving Calcutta is out. A bunch of light transports escorted by a single patrol gunboat carrying 6 of these, carrying anywhere between 1,000 to 1,750 supplies, headed to Rangoon, which as of now has enough supply for itself. The rest of Burma, not so much, but I'm hoping this will help, and I hope to make several runs like this, because like I said, I'm going to pump supply into Burma. I have an Indian brigade moving out of, well, it's going into strat mode, and then it's going to move out of Hyderabad. It's part of a bigger division. Just going to go get ready in Chittagong. I want to get all the parts of it to Chittagong even before they're ready, just so you know they're ready. Maybe get them into action before the rest of it arrives. I don't know. At the very least, a garrison for Chittagong for what it's worth. Earlier, I was weighing the benefits and risks of trying to leave every Dutch unit up here at Medan to try to hold it, because it's like the second best place on Sumatra for oil and fuel. But, I I don't think it's worth it. There's not a lot here. Not a lot to really hold it if it comes under attack. A single Japanese division can probably wipe out everything here, and the only other thing headed over here. So I've decided all of this is just going to slowly march its way down to Palembang along this road network. It may take a bit, but by the time Palembang comes under attack, they should be there. Therefore, we can have the strongest Dutch garrison possible over here in Palembang, and that British division. Later on, you know, maybe we can retake the Dutch East Indies. The British division will certainly be redeployed, but there's no need to lose unnecessarily a bunch of Dutch units defending Medan. What am I going to do with it? Suck fuel out of it? That's a terrible idea. Whether I use Sabang or Medan, it's right around a bunch of Japanese air. Palembang is in a safer position, and Oosthaven can be used to suck fuel out of Palembang. I'm doing it right now. I'm sending even more tankers up there to do the same thing. I'm loading some troops over here at Mataram to send to Kopang. The next group is going to Denpasar to do the same thing. The transport, which I got to Rabaul, for some reason started going to Darwin, which I'm not sure. I guess I just refrained from taking the destination away. I must have fucked that up myself. So now I have to go all the way back to Rabaul like a dumbass, but it's fine because the rest of the cargo ships are still showing up anyway, so it's not like we're in a rush. I'm just fucking up everything with this because I hit a button over here and then the loading stopped and then it left, and I don't know. Some of the UI in this game is a little retarded at times, but hey, 2004, what are you gonna do? Earlier I mentioned I spent some political points in New Zealand. Well, here it is. I am loading onto a troop transport. Let me get to it. It's somewhere here. Strat move. No, not you. Here we go. 21st New Zealand Pioneer Company is now assigned to the Pacific Fleet. Costs like 13 political points. Not a whole lot. We get like 50 a turn, I think. And I'm going to send it to Vavau to start building up the base there. As a reminder, I also have a detachment I'm picking up with this troop transport from Rarotonga, which is going to be sent to Vavau as well. It has some aviation support. Probably also going to pick up the detachment of Savai, and at some point, I don't know who's going to pick it up, the US or New Zealand, or from what direction the transport's going to come from. It's probably US. I don't think New Zealand actually has a lot of troop transports. Another detachment from Fanning Island I'm going to get down to Vavau as well, but I thought I'd finally get some actual engineers over there now that I saw one that I can send over. So that's going over there. I also got another supply group. Yes, headed to Vavau. It's just a single AKL. The Atlantic is going to Vavau, and 2 more AKLs are going to pull some supplies out of Auckland as well, which is doing okay on supply at the moment, and take that to Suva, the other 2, because Fiji could definitely use some supply. Otherwise, if we go over to Hawaii, I don't think I've done anything necessarily new here. This was already loading. No. I am sending a destroyer over to Christmas Island because I'm sending some tankers that are in Auckland over to Christmas Island. They're going to meet up, and the destroyer is going to escort them the rest of the way to Pearl Harbor just because of, submarines in this area. All of my carriers are now on their way to Pearl Harbor, moving 4 hexes per phase of a turn. I learned that the hex movement is phase of a turn. So I guess the left number is... I don't know if that's total in a turn or if that's if you have it on flank and then the right is what it's actually moving per phase. But I know there's 2 main movement phases and they're moving like 4, maybe 9, I don't know. But they should get to Pearl Harbor in 2 turns, I believe. At least these ones. Where's the other one? Here it is. The Saratoga, I believe? Yes. It is a bit further out, but it's on its way there as well. We're going to get them all set, all ready, all together. Only 3 carriers. We have some more incoming. Let's look at what we have incoming, by the way. So let's take a look. So under the reinforcements for the air, we have just, some patrol planes on the Hobart, which is a light cruiser that is arriving in, I believe, Aden next turn. And that's the only ship we have arriving next turn. I'm moving some Airacobras from the East Coast to San Francisco because they have an unrestricted HQ, and Getting some Air Cobras out there could be nice. Of course, I need transports to do that. The only thing that's actually new coming in that matters at all, and this doesn't even matter, in 4 days, well, actually, no, this is just part of a ship, there is a Bolingbroke group arriving in Canada with a restricted HQ, Western Air Command, some kind of bomber by the looks of it. Nothing really important. B-18 Bolos arriving in Pearl Harbor. This I do not understand. Why are we still using Bolos? Don't ask me. As for ground reinforcement, days until arrival, 2 days we will get a British AT regiment, which is artillery, in 2 days in Cape Town, and an Indian anti-air corps in Aden. Which reminds me, in Aden, we got a bunch of Indian AA, and I just moved them all into Strat Move. And do I have the APs to move them? I think I have exactly the amount of APs to move them, and I did want to get them to Rangoon. They don't have any escorts here, but I could get all of them headed to Colombo, now that I think about it, and then get them going to Rangoon to provide some AA, because I don't think we have we have like none. How much flak? There's usually something here that counts flak. It might be on the actual... Click. 9 flak. Yeah, and we know that they're keen to air raid Rangoon, so maybe that would be a good idea. Let's do that. So let's form new task force. Transport. Type. 1, 2. We're going to need 3 APs because regardless of capacity, you can only have 1 unit per AP. And these are way more capacity than we need. These are very pricey APs. But they're the only ones here. If I want to get them to their location anywhere else, with something smaller maybe, I'd have to transport other things there. But, oh man, the troop transports are just worth a lot in general. That's why I'm going to get them to Colombo first, so I can get them an escort as they go the rest of the way. Ooh, whose are these? A New Zealand? There's a New Zealand transport in here. And a French transport. 2 French transports and a New Zealand transport. What the hell? The way allies mix and match everything is retarded. Alright. Load troops. 1, 2, 3. Verify load. What? It needs more cargo capacity. What do you mean? How? It's heavy. Oh yeah. You know what? I'm realizing these don't have any troop load cost at all. They only have cargo load cost. So I don't even need to send these. Now, the stupid thing that I've done now, though, is this is something like what I did over in Referral. Now I have to actually unload these in order to be able to load them onto something else and then move them. I can't just disband because they've loaded a tiny amount already. So I don't even need to send the APs. I could just send AKs. I don't have a save of what I've done so far in this turn, so I'm just going to accept this as a consequence and go into my little notepad. Move AA from Cape Town in AKs? Question mark, and we'll test that next turn. 1 day of a delay is not a big deal. Good thing about moving day by day, you can make little delays like this and it won't really matter. Oh well, right? This is how we learn things. I'm a new player. I don't know how this works. I didn't think AA would have no troops in them. And it's kind of stupid that you can't just unload in the same turn you start a load, but that aside, leaving San Francisco, I have 3 AKLs, 6 total across two different task forces here. One is going to Adak Island to drop off some supplies. The other is going to Dutch Habor to drop off some supplies. Several thousand from each of them. No escorts, because I do believe it's going to be pretty safe up here, and they're only little AKLs anyway. Because, as a reminder, I do plan to build up Adak Island as kind of like a northern Pearl Harbor if we can. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I have moved all my submarines, micromanaging them, min-maxing them, doing whatever I can with them. I'm trying not to stack submarines, but I actually have too many submarines to really... avoid doing that. Finally, to the Philippines, we have now about 900 to 1,000, 928 exactly, AV in Manila. We have more and more units moving to Manila. Literally every unit we can free up on the island of Luzon is moving to Manila. The latest ones will probably get there in 2 days, 3 tops. The invasion of the Philippines has started. Apari and Bigan falling without much resistance. We have a battalion running south for their lives, currently in Bayambang. Legazpi got invaded as well. I have, I believe, one of these submarines somewhere, I think, headed over there. Yes, I have a submarine headed over there to try to see if we can cause any havoc underneath their little force. Hopefully, maybe. While I have others just trying to patrol these sides, because I know they have more troops coming northwest, at least more ships, but this may be another invasion force. So I have some subs set to patrol around here just to try to catch any of them before they actually get to their location. These guys are going to move northwest completely unopposed as we gather everything we can in Manila, which is up to level 1 forts, racing to level 2 forts pretty quickly, but these level of fortifications are not really very impressive. Yeah, Bataan is way more defensible. We're expanding everything here, which doesn't help. The more engineers arrive in Manila, the faster everything here should build up in general. None of my transports have reached their locations that I was sending them to in order to fuel them up. What are you on right now? Naval attack? Okay. In order to fill them up and just get them to Manila to try, maybe Cagayan as well, in order to get any supplies over there. I have some Dutch subs going in to try to get some kills on some of these many Japanese task forces exposing themselves. If we can, cause some havoc. Other than setting up some cap in some places like the Dutch East Indies, just in case, there's not really a whole lot else to show for this turn. So let's hit end turn here. I say not a whole lot else to show. There's some things I could, but I've already been recording this for like 45 minutes, so this is going to be a bit of a long turn. It's funny because going into this, I was like, oh man, you know, I don't really have anything to talk about. Well, apparently I was wrong. Let's get into this turn replay, though, and see what kind of havoc we will deal with. Alright, so more troops unloading into Wake Island. Coastal guns returning fire, no effect. Sad face. The SS Sargo firing on a transport. And we got a Mark 14 torpedo hit on the Hokyuzu Maru. And on fire. Heavy damage. Hopefully it sinks. Let's listen for that little bubbling sound effect. Yes! It sank. It sank, guys. And a Dutch sub got a hit here on the Narkai Maru. Wow. Already a great turn for submarines. Fuel cargo burning, so some sort of AK with fuel in it. Interesting. Usually you don't put fuel on AKs, but heavy fires with that torpedo hit out of 2 fires. Listen for that sound effect. I don't hear it. Well, it didn't sink yet. Oh, what is happening? Japanese lookout spots. I guess one of our ships. We're getting attacked. Long lance torpedo attack. What is being attacked? The AVD Childs. Damn it. So one of our... this is a destroyer. An aviation support destroyer that was on its way to Singapore from the Philippines. I guess it got intercepted by an enemy invasion force, more than likely, headed to the Dutch East Indies. I really didn't think of that. I didn't think they'd cross paths. So we're probably going to lose this thing because he was caught by surprise in the middle of the night. He's getting hit by some enemy... internal explosions. Torpedoes in the water. Getting hit by more cannons. Oh, it's going to sink. I'm just going to skip through this. 3 shell hits, heavy fires, heavy damage. Yeah, that's going to sink. Let's be real. The AVD Childs is going to die. Let's be honest. An S-boat firing into a destroyer. Torpedoes miss. It's hunting and doesn't find the sub. S-boat being detected around Legazpi, the one I'm trying to get in there to cause some havoc, is just getting found. I guess they must have radar. Woo! Woo, that's a whole lot of stuff in there. They didn't even find it enough to do any depth charges, though. Ah, I feel so sad about that ABD. That's going to be the most expensive thing I lose out of this whole time. Singapore's under an air raid. Another night raid by some Sallies. I do have some cap, specifically over Singapore. I don't think anywhere else. Yeah, 4 Blenheim IFs total joined the fight, but they didn't do anything. Altitude 17,000. We were at 20,000, so we should have seen them. We just didn't. They had one plane destroyed by flak, apparently. Night raid on Victoria Point. Got some runway hits. S-boat firing at another cargo ship. It's not firing torpedoes, though. It's firing its deck gun. And it's hitting with the deck gun. Fires below deck. What the hell kind of effective-ass deck gun is that? Where are your escorts that an S-boat can just surface and start firing like this? Oh. Severe damage, it said, on our S-boat. It's submerged after that. Well, this ship's on fire. Only took one shell hit. It probably won't sink. The SS Seal firing at a PB. I don't know what a PB is, but we just got at least one Mark 14 torpedo to hit it. Looks like this is some kind of escort. Firing depth charges. This is at Vigan. This is one of the invasion sites. I sent some subs in here to cause some havoc as well. I'm still so upset about that AVD. I thought it would be safe because, like, oh, what's it going to run into? A sub? No, it runs into a fucking invasion force. Of course it does. 7 depth charge hits on the Seal. Something just sank. I didn't see any notification, so something Japanese sank. Another S-boat. This S-boat's already fired stuff, but it's firing even more at some destroyers. Really weird choice at Bataan Island. And it's getting depth charged, and 6 hits on it. Oi, I have some damage control to do next turn. This S-boat's just getting depth charged, yeah. Oh, man, it's really back and forth turn on whether or not we're winning or not. Looks like more troops unloading at Wake Island. Please, make it stop. We got 3 hits on an AMC. No heavy damage. Oh, God, and now they're landing on Guam. Flashlight for Guam. Rest in peace. Yep. Guam's as good as dead. I think all that's there is an engineer's force. More troops unloading at Guam. And at Wake, 2 shell hits. S-boat, I guess. I think that's an S-boat. Some kind of boat firing at a tanker. That's a Japanese tanker. What are you doing there? And we hit it. And then a hit but no explosion. 2 torpedoes. So one was a hit but no explosion. I think that was a Mark 14. So I don't know whose submarine this is. I-123? Oh, wait. Oh, no. Why am I cheering? That's my tanker. That's their submarine. Fuck! Ah. They hit a tanker. This isn't a big force. This has escorts, doesn't it? Yeah. And it took a hit. Well, that sucks. That's how you know I'm in optimism mode. I thought that was ours. This is ours. This is ours. Oh, it's being hunted. Okay. Dutch sub firing and hits. Torpedo into the side of a cargo ship. Please give me more of these. Explosion below the waterline on fire. Heavy damage. Japanese vehicle lost, so they were still unloading troops. Please sink with everything on it. That'd be amazing. The SS Seal is being hunted at Vigan. I need to go through my damaged ships after this for sure. Dutch sub firing. Man, when I sent these subs in here, I didn't realize how active they would be. Holy crap. Well, I know what to do if I want to get some real good results out of my subs. Just send them into invasion zones. No, no, no. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. No. 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 No, it's gonna sink now. It's in a big task force. It has destroyers and shit escorting it. No! No! Oh, yes, please sink that. Please sink that troop transport. Please. I need more good news in my life. After losing a tanker and maybe losing an AVD. Oh, dude, you're making me so proud. You're making me so... I need to get more subs over here, clearly. Wherever they invade, I just need to get subs to. This is proving to be a very effective tactic. 4 torpedo hits onto this troop transport. And it sank. I'm hearing it sank. Or sink. Oh my god. So whatever an LB is, apparently one of my submarines surfaced, shot it with a deck gun, and one-shot it. I don't know what an LB is, but it's dead. Oh. Well, you know, we have our good news, we have our bad news every turn, right? Man. I gotta take a good damage report after this. 33 Nels over Wake. Not flying any cap over there. They're fucking up our Wildcats on the ground, but those Wildcats are already as good as dead. At least they're expending ammo on it. No, 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 no. What? Where are you coming from? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no. No, no. No. Don't. Dad. No, stop it. Stop it. How are you getting Nels over here? No. No. I fucking hate you. No. Oh, come on. I think this is my cargo task force from Chittagong. Fuck. Or maybe not. Actually, this might be something leaving Rangoon and trying to get to Calcutta. Well, oh my god, we just... Oh no, are you for real? We just lost 3 AKs? I want to cry. God damn it. And now Wake Island's being bombed some more. I don't care what happens there at this point. Hong Kong's being bombed. Nothing I can do about that. Ah, it's a really back and forth turn, man. This game's playing with my emotions. More bombing over Hong Kong. There, man, they're trying to bomb Hong Kong into the ground. One of our planes got shot down there. 13 Bettys coming in unescorted, bombing Manila. We're getting some planes in the air to deal with them. I want to see some Bettys get shot down. I want to watch this. I want to see some Bettys get shot. No, not damage. You don't damage that bitch. You shoot that bitch down. We've lost too much this turn. It seems like they lost a good bit too, but I got to see some more good things happening. The number of Bettys just like halved. I think a lot of them got driven away. I'm not seeing any get destroyed. Did one of our fighters just get damaged? I mean, I know our P-26s suck, but still. Critical hit on a P-40E Warhawk? What kind of fucking guns are on these Bettys? Yes! I have seen at least one Betty get destroyed. I still don't know if Bettys are heavy bombers or not. That's either 1 or 2 VP, each one we destroy. There's another one. Oh, you're making me proud, boys. Oh, 3, yes, you're making me proud. 4! And they ran away. Let's see. 2 destroyed is all it says, but... Oh! more coming in. Just skip through it. Well, that was the fighter phase. It's probably going to go pretty similarly. Skip through, at least another 2 destroyed, hopefully. Bombing raid on Georgetown. I don't really have anything left at Georgetown except some repairing aircraft. Looks like they're aiming for the port. Nels bombarding Wencao. Nothing really there to stop them. More Lilies bombarding Hong Kong. Man, this is why they have so many sorties. They're flying so many bombardments, it's retarded. Some of our flying tigers are engaging an enemy bombing force. This is on a unit in the 20th Army, actually, to the north of Changsha. Only 3 of the flying tigers are actually here at the moment, but they're diving. Hopefully we'll see something good come out of this. We have plenty of flying tigers to go around. Not seeing any progress so far. The Nates are evading us. We're diving, but they just keep evading. Let's just skip through this. Doesn't look like we really got through to the bombers, but we turned some of them away. There was one on the way out, but it was running low on fuel. Sad face. Yeah, that's a downside. They got 13 of our units disabled with that bombing raid. Hopefully the presence of the flying tigers at least makes them think. 2 of our wildebeests are going on a naval attack to one of the invasion forces, probably the one that hit the AVD. And they're trying to drop bombs. Bombs? What about your torpedoes, bro? Alright, well, you do you. "14 Anns bombarding some backwater base. 5 units disabled, non-combatants. On our side, oh my god, this is being found again. They're depth charging it. Heavy damage. Oof. And they sank it. The SS Narwhal sinks. We just lost a submarine. I want to cry. It's not a bad turn. Don't get me wrong. We're killing a lot. But we're getting stuff killed as well. Well, I guess that area may be a little too dangerous to really, go into. The Dutch subs did pretty well, at least. Hunting down the seal here. They got a depth charge hit on it. And the child sank. Yep. Wow, this is... Last turn wasn't very active, I'll tell you that. This turn is active all over the place. We're winning some, we're losing some. I really don't know whether to say we won or lost this turn with what's going on. We should be losing every turn as the Allies for the first year of the war, but... I don't know. Here are troop movements for the time being. See garrisons moving into India, some divisions moving out of India. Ground attack at Xinjiang. They're still trying to attack this Chinese core. Oof. Ooh, it hurts. Good Japanese assault odds. Yeah, this core is retreating. Sad face. 72 of our squads destroyed, and the enemies didn't lose anything. Fuck. God damn it. Another attack at Hong Kong. Cross your fingers, boys. Let's see what happened. So, yeah, no, that's not looking too good. We're disabling a lot more than we're losing, but we got 26 destroyed to their 2 destroyed, 4 with the engineers, a gun's lost, 1 gun lost, 1 non-combatant squad. Nah, we're not doing so well out here. We're not supposed to be, but... Japanese shock attack at Chow. What? With a single division? Either you're insane or you're a genius. They have 1-to-1 assault odds, and they reduce fortifications to 0. They have a single division here. Pretty even losses on both sides. Similar amounts disabled. Exact amounts the same destroyed. One division doing that much damage. Wow. The Japanese are overpowered in China. That hurts. At least it was even in overall victory points. This unit is under attack again. They're just bombarding. No real losses on either side. Wake Island is under bombardment attack. 5 allied casualties, a non-combatant squad disabled. And I believe this is the end of the turn? Yeah, looks like it. Some VP reports, but we're moving units into those locations. That's it! That's it for December 11th. We are now in December 12th. Well, hope you guys have enjoyed that episode. I have a lot of work to do, a lot of stuff to respond to. Oh, man. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think we won that turn? Do you think we lost that turn? Do you think it was a draw? Because that was a very active turn on both sides. I'll go over exactly what we lost and what we gained on the next episode, though. So, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.